if I'm going to bring in agents, I want to bring in agents that want to hustle, that want to be productive, that, they're not looking for the easy way out. Because, let's be real, real estate's been really good. And there's been a lot of people getting into real estate. And the reality is, I feel like once the market shifts, which who knows when that's going to happen, because we've been waiting and waiting because it's been good for so long. But when the market shifts, a lot of agents are going to get out of the business because they can't. It's not easy anymore. They're actually going to have to work.
Thank you for coming on.
I'm excited.
I love, you said Sherwood, Michele Sherwood. You said Sherwood be nice. I love that.
Yeah, it's kind of like my tagline. I haven't really done anything with it. But
Have you had that for a while? Sherwood be nice?
It was just brought to my attention. Someone actually brought it to my attention in the past when I was going to run for an elected office. And they said, oh, that should be like your tagline. Sure would be nice for change or something of that sort.
Yeah,
so that's kind of where it came from.
Well, we appreciate you coming on. Super easygoing, relaxed type conversation.
Okay.
Try to get value out to entrepreneurs, realtors, investors, developers, lenders. And we would absolutely love to dive into your background.
Okay.
So as far back as you really want to go, kind of where you were born, what you did early on to where you're at now.
Okay.
And then we'll just make it, we'll probably just ask questions and try to add value. And if you have questions for us, feel free to shoot them over. But we're excited to have you. So thank you for coming on.
Sure. Thanks for having me.
Heck yeah.
Well, I was born in Houston.
Okay.
So we moved to Round Rock when I was 5.
Nice.
So
I moved here when I was 3.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so we moved here when I was 5. I lived in Round Rock West.
That's right. That's where both of
Where at in Round Rock West?
On Walsh.
Walsh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I grew up on Bluff, right by Walsh.
Wow. Okay, that's 2 streets over.
Mm-hmm.
I was on Chincoteague. No one knows Chincoteague.
Oh yeah.
You know Chincoteague?
That's over that way.
Yeah.
It's farther west. Is it more in the Cimarron area maybe?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I went to Deepwood, Chisholm Trail, Round Rock.
Me too.
Yeah.
Alex too.
Wow. Well, hey, we just learned something we didn't know.
The dinos. Man, Deepwood dinos.
Yeah.
I want to get some dinos shirts.
Hey, I can help you with that.
Can you?
Yeah,
Seriously, I'd love to get a dino shirt.
No, we did some shirts not too long ago, so I can get my hands on some.
Please do.
So my house backed up to the bluff, and so back in the old days, I could go the back way to school.
We have, this is random, but we were ding dong ditching and all this stuff as kids, and Round Rock's so safe. There's nothing going on. So if something happens, the police are coming out.
Right.
And we used to know that neighborhood. We still do, but know it so well that we just get the cops called us and jump 3 fences and be at Alco's house, or go through the trail and be here. You just knew how to work it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was funny too, because my dad, because we were on that rock, my dad had to get a jackhammer just to put the fence in for our house. And then, we wanted a pool, but if you can imagine to use a jackhammer to build a fence, what is it going to cost to put a pool in? So we did an above ground with really nice, but it was the best we could do because of all that rock.
Walsh is the one that backs up to the bluff you're talking about.
That backs up to Deepwood.
Deepwood, gotcha. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
So I wonder if you guys think if I'm biased on this, but I feel like that neighborhood hasn't seen the prices or appreciation that I would expect.
It's up there. Yeah,
but you can go to O'Connor, the new cut through, and those are brand new houses, and they sell for $550 or $650. It's why are these houses selling for that? I guess I get it that they're new, but and I definitely have to be biased, but I really think that that's such a good neighborhood.
Well, and one of the reasons my parents bought in that neighborhood was because all 3 schools were in that neighborhood.
You could ride your bike to
you could
all
walk,
of them.
Yeah, and I agree with that. However, there is a house that and I only know this because I have clients that were interested in this house that did, in the neighborhood, that did just sell for $40,000 above ask.
So it's getting there.
So it's getting there.
And I do
think
have
it's
this
getting
theory.
there.
There's a couple realtors that sell most of the houses, and I just don't think they've ever really pushed the market.
I think I agree with you there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do. I try. Like, I have a house on the corner of Deepwood and Creekview, right across from Deepwood.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And we rented it for like $19.50, and everyone's like, "You're crazy." I'm like, "Why? Really? This is a great neighborhood."
And you're literally right across the street.
At least in like 2 days. And so it's interesting when you like really get into the business, when you actually care about like pushing things. Most of the time you can, especially in this great market.
What would you think they should be?
16. Everyone said 16.
No, home prices. Round Rock West, 3.2, 1,500 square feet.
I think they should be in the 4s pretty consistently.
Yeah, and they're pushing that.
They're getting
there. But I think it's like it's this little sleepy little neighborhood that just like time forgot or something.
I don't know. I think that Round Rock West is sought after.
Well, and when we were looking to buy a house, I was really wanting to be in that neighborhood, and but we just couldn't.
It is sought after, and they all sell quickly. I just don't think anyone's pushing the limits on it.
Yeah,
y'all tried to with Boyers, didn't you?
And we did actually. I just sold one on Hunlac.
Okay.
For $430.
Okay.
And everyone was like, "That's super high," and it wasn't even that nice of a house. It was big and it was 2-story, but there was nothing unique about it.
Yeah.
A lot of those houses in that neighborhood are very unique. Like people like really put a lot of love and care and like super nice backyards or whatever it may be.
Yeah. Yeah. That was like our house, and then now it looks like a dump. So,
so you
the house
actually
I grew up in,
you grew up there, and then your parents sold it.
They sold it. They moved to Florida in 2009.
Okay.
So, and I just told my mom, I was happy to tell her that a house just sold for $400,000. That was smaller than our house. Obviously, didn't have the lot that our house had, and so anyway, it's interesting what's going on there.
I'll say this: we have a friend, the Boyers, that have a house on what is it, Aquarina or something?
Aquarina Cove.
Aquarina.
Yeah.
And it literally backs up to that duck pond. They've got like a tennis court and a pool.
Yeah.
And I keep telling them, I strongly believe this will be $1 million house.
Yeah.
In a matter of time. 10 years, 5 years, but...
Well, the other thing that neighborhood has that's really unique is the Shadowbrook Circle, which is like that pocket. So it's like a pocket neighborhood of older homes. I used to babysit in that neighborhood. And then West Creek Loop, too. They have, little... So...
And my favorite thing, no HOA.
Yes.
That's nice.
It is. It is. I live in a no HOA neighborhood, so...
I'm not a huge fan of HOAs.
Yeah.
I get it, and
Well, if I currently lived in an HOA neighborhood, we wouldn't be building a tiny home in our backyard, which is
You're building the tiny home in your backyard?
Well, it's actually a refurb shed, giant shed.
Are you kidding me?
No.
People they were calling me crazy last episode. I got an RV in the back that we're renting out.
Well,
I love it. Thank you.
Yeah. So it was like literally a shed in the backyard that, believe it or not, family members have had a stop or two in it. But when my daughter decided that she was going to come back home, we've now put in flooring, paneling, like we re-insulated it, and are making it very nice for her.
Airbnb. So, you're making it for her.
Yeah.
Now tell me, would you do this? Would you build another one and then Airbnb all 3 of them and just move around to which one was vacant?
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Come on!
I'm like telling you. I mean.
Screw it.
We talked about it too. We were like, ACL, someone will stay. I mean, how much room do you really need? Because if you're going to a music festival, all you're doing is crashing.
Yeah.
It's not like you're hanging out there.
This is making me so happy right now.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Yeah. So we were just originally we were going to add on to our pool house and add another living space and another bedroom. And then our neighbor down the street was like, "You want the shed?" And he said, "You can have it. You just have to pay to move it." So because we live on a big lots, even though they were 2 doors down, it was a little bit of a hike. So I think it cost us like $500 to get it moved from our neighbors to our house. And we're like, this shed, it's ginormous. I mean, it's bigger than this room. So
Is it one of those new tough sheds?
It's not. It's an older one. But it's very well served its purpose. We've had 2 family members that have lived in it temporarily in between places, and so.
Are you in Round Rock West right now?
I'm in Brushy Creek North.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, we are on almost 3/4 of an acre.
Wow.
So, yeah. So
Nice. So
anyway.
went to Deepwood, Chisholm,
okay, yeah.
Round
So back
Rock.
to what we were talking about. So yeah, and then I went to college in San Marcos. Then it was Southwest Texas, so I'm dating myself. And then moved to Houston, back to Houston for my first job out of college, which was not anything great.
What was it?
I was just working for a law firm.
Mm-hmm.
I was like kind of interning at a law firm. But I moved back to Round Rock and started working at Dell. So I worked at Dell for almost 10 years in sales and operations. I say I pretty much did like every job at Dell. So, and then work-life balance, right? So when you work for a company, our division went they went global. So it was late nights, crazy 2 a.m. conference calls and small children at home, and that just doesn't work, right? So then I went to be the membership director at the YMCA, thinking that would be better work-life balance. The challenge with that is that when you work at a gym or whatever, a lot of your employees are going to be young. So what happens if they don't show up for work? Guess who has to work? So that became a challenge.
I worked at the Y in college.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was fun. I mean, it was great while it lasted. And then my husband at the time was working at Dell, so we got transferred to Chicago.
Nice.
So I spent 2 years in Chicago. And we came back, and once we came back, I was like, what am I going to do?
Real quick, did you like Chicago? Maybe not the winters.
You like Chicago, don't you?
I think that's the only big city I've ever been to is Chicago. I've been to New Orleans, and that's it. So I've only seen Austin and San Antonio and Dallas and New Orleans and Chicago. And Chicago is really cool.
I've never been to Chicago.
Well, you should go.
Yeah.
So I love the city. I mean, we made sure, we lived in the burbs, but we made sure that we were on a train line so that I could get on a train and be in the city in an hour and a half, depending on stops or whatever. But the weather, they can have it. The weather, I'm a Texas girl, so I don't like to be cold at all. And we moved there over spring break, and the springs are like wet and gloomy. There's not a lot of sun, not like we're used to seeing a lot of sun here. And then it snowed in April, and I was like, what is going on? So, yeah.
I don't know. I went to Chicago in May. I was there for 3 days, and it was the coolest city I've ever been to. And the weather was really nice. You know, it's like 60, 70 degrees. And I also went to Seattle and I'm born and raised in Round Rock.
Yeah.
And I went to Seattle in July, and I'd walk out in the morning. And it was so that's another city I've been to, but in and out. And I walk out in the morning, and it's 60 degrees, and I was like, "This is amazing." I don't want to be hot.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be 20 below zero.
Well, the challenge there is in Chicago, it just lasts for so long. It's just like, and then we lived in a neighborhood where we had like a private lake. And, you know, here we can start getting in the water like, you know, in May or whatever. There it was literally the end of July before I could kind of like get on my raft and ease into the water because it's just so cold. And then, you know, then Labor Day, it's over. So that was just my challenge. But the city itself is great. You know, I'd love to have a condo in the city. That would be great to go visit. We did go back.
The food
is great. Yeah.
Deep dish, hot dogs.
Yeah.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I really
and then
go.
if you did you get a chance to go to a Cubs game at Wrigley
we did,
Field?
and that was awesome. That was cool. And everything about what's surrounding Wrigley Field too. So I don't know what the streets are called leading up to it, but kind of like 6th Street, I guess. Leading up to Wrigley Field, after the games, they block off the streets. It's one big party.
Yeah.
It was coolest city I've ever been to.
It's a great city, and that's my only challenge is like I couldn't live there full time, but it would be great to have a place there that, you know, you could go visit when you wanted to. So
Austin's
sorry for interrupting.
Austin's cooler.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I couldn't live there full time, but I would go.
No, I was telling our listeners so everyone buys real estate here.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, well, I came back. I had the 2-year plan, so I was like, I'll take one for the team, but I'm coming back home. So what I was saying, we came back home, and then I became like a professional volunteer. Like at my kid's school, I was the treasurer or whatever. And my husband finally said, "Hey, why don't you find a job where you can do all those things that you want to do, but you can make some money too?" So then I was like, "Oh, well, that sounds like real estate." So that's why I got into real estate, is so that I could still have freedom and flexibility, be able to make sure I'm at my kid's school, like do all the volunteer stuff I want, but then make some money. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of what I did. And
when was that? When did you get into real estate?
I got my license in 2014.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, and then decided that I really enjoyed helping agents, and so I had an opportunity in 2018 to take a leadership role at my office, and I did that, and I loved it. But my daughter got her license, my husband got his license, and I really felt torn because that's a big job, running an office and
how many agents?
About 200.
Oh yeah, so that's a job.
Yeah, so it's a really big job, and it's exciting and enjoyable, but it also, at the end of the day, you're exhausted. And then my daughter was looking to me to kind of help, guide her, and we're trying to, we have a family team, and I would just be spent or didn't want to do it or exhausted, or I would set time to meet with her. And then something would happen work-related, and I, wouldn't get that time. And so finally, she was actually probably the biggest reason that I decided that I needed to step down from that role and go back into real estate full-time and just really run the team and train her.
Well, it's much different. It's still real estate, right? But It's different than going out and servicing your clients. Yeah. Now you're back at the house running a business.
Right.
It's
herding
different.
Cats.
That's right. That's exactly what it is, because they're independent contractors, so you can't really tell them what to do. But
we know how these realtors are. 200 of them.
Yeah. So, again, I still have agents that call and ask questions, and now it's different though, because I'm doing it because I want to do it. And I wouldn't say because I had to do it. That was just a big job, like from running a business and then taking care of agents. One thing I'm pretty proud of though is that I was able to come into that role and kind of change the culture of our office, and retention went up.
Nice.
And we were able to retain agents, and we were a little bit more selective about the agents that we brought in, and making sure that, it wasn't just like, we'll take anyone with a real estate license. It was really like, I want you to understand that this is how it is. This is how we operate. If this isn't for you, then maybe we're not the right place for you,
I'm curious, how what your approach was in doing that, and what your mindset was about changing the culture, and then also being more selective about who you bring on to the team, and why you think that was beneficial long run for you guys.
Well, I think the biggest thing with culture is to have fun, right? So we tried to find all kinds of ways to really have fun, where, we did like the color run as a team, as a group. We, had like a Halloween dress up team team meeting party. And then as far as being selective is, I think that when I say, everybody's recruiting strategy is different. Mm-hmm. There has always been push from the brokerage that I work for to, just bring them in. And what we saw happen was, when you bring just anybody that has a real estate license and a pulse, and you don't set proper expectations, and then they get there and they're like, whoa, well, this isn't what I thought it was going to be, or no one told me it was going to be like this. And I'm not blaming anyone for that. It's just getting our systems in place, right? Then it's like a revolving door. And anybody knows, like in any kind of business, when you bring in a new person and you pour time and energy into them, it costs money. And then for them to just go out the back door, right, is, it doesn't make good business sense.
Yeah, that's very true.
And so really just being really upfront and being okay with the fact is that if I tell you, oh, well, we don't give leads or you're going to have to lead generate on your own. I mean, obviously we're going to help you and this is what our expectations are for you and your training and just putting it all out there. And then if they're like, well, this isn't for me, being okay with that, being like, okay, well, if I'm going to bring in agents, I want to bring in agents that want to hustle, that want to be productive, that, they're not looking for the easy way out. Because, I mean, let's be real, real estate's been really good. And there's been a lot of people getting into real estate. And the reality is I feel like once the market shifts, which who knows when that's going to happen because we've been waiting and waiting because it's been good for so long. But when the market shifts, a lot of agents are going to get out of the business because they can't. I mean, it's not easy anymore. They're actually going to have to work, if that makes sense.
Totally. What was your process on staying on top of like changes within track or guidelines? Like, were you just staying involved on through track, or was that a big part of what you were doing, or did the rest of the team handle that?
Yes and no. So our broker's Avis Wukash, who was a former chair of the Texas Real Estate Commission for 12 years. So she's pretty
Avis is like a legend, right?
Yeah.
I've met her quickly a couple times.
Yeah.
And she has a cool name too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's only one Avis, right?
Avis Wukash?
Yeah. So we're blessed to have her. So any changes or anything that's coming down the pipe, she usually knows before anybody else does. Even though she's not on the chair of the Real Estate Commission, she obviously has stayed, connected exactly. And so we're always made well aware of that. And then also I try to stay involved. I'm involved at the local level, the state level, and the national level. So I try to stay really involved with what's going on. I was on a call this morning about the changes that are coming down with the NAR Code of Ethics. So, and I think that's important to make sure that you know what's going on.
Absolutely. That's why I asked, because it is kind of a full-time job to stay on top of it.
It is.
Seems like it.
It is. It's a lot of Zoom meetings now, but it is, so I just try to keep up and do all the reading and everything that comes out, all those emails that you just want to delete. I just at least, skim over them and get the
Is that how they basically inform everyone, is through emails? And then if you want to take it a step further, you got to go get involved?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the most part. And then there was always been, because I'm involved in the different levels at the local, state, and national, always trying to get agents, once they kind of like get their feet wet, right, and with their business, is try to push them to get involved. And I think that was one thing that made me successful in the very beginning of my real estate career pretty quickly, was that I decided that I was going to get involved. And so sometimes people think that volunteering with other realtors, and I'm sure you know this because you're talking to other realtors, it really helps you with your business and your relationships, and you never know when you're going to be on the other side of a transaction with someone. And by already having a relationship with them or knowing them, is not always beneficial, but it helps because
usually is.
Yeah.
Very beneficial.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, like the house I'm going to show this afternoon, I saw who the list agent was. I picked up the phone, I called, and, we just had a conversation, and a conversation sometimes turns into extra information that can help you, so.
It's weird how it works. That's why I've taken a huge emphasis on it, but like just 1 or 2 meetings with someone goes a long way.
It does.
And it should. I mean, if you make the right impression,
right.
But it's really fascinating how it all works.
Yeah. I just think it's really important for us, I mean, as a, what's the word I'm looking for? Our community, basically, as a real estate community, to talk to as many people as you can, and to, it's all about relationships. I mean, this business is about relationships. And, most of the agents that I see that do really well are the ones that are building relationships and staying in contact with their clients and that sort of thing, and loving on their clients. And that's where they're getting the referral business, because who doesn't want a business where you wake up every morning and you have a phone call, a text, and an email, and someone wants to do something in real estate? So,
Right.
And, as agents, too, we have to set the example and, show that we're in relationship with people, too.
So then the transition to where you're at now, you're just doing deals.
Yeah.
What was that shift like, and what's it like now?
Yeah. So it was nice in the beginning. It was like, whew, and then it was funny because I was having this conversation with a friend yesterday. I said, okay, I'm about, August, September. I'm about a little over 90 days removed from being in a leadership role within my company. And I'm like, got systems set up, got the business set up, got our schedule set up. And then it's like,
what's next?
I feel something's missing because I'm used to being that person that's going like 90 to nothing. And there's some of us in the world that thrive on being busy and get a lot more accomplished when we're busy. And I start to worry, like, if I'm not super, super busy, not just with real estate, but with something else that's, that's growing me, will I get complacent? Because I don't want that to happen either. So, so I was just on the phone yesterday going, what's next for me?
So you like the moving and shaking constantly.
I do. I just think that the moving and shaking of what I was doing before was like just a little too much. I'm like, I need to find like a happy medium where I still feel like at the end of the day, I'm not exhausted or stressed, and I can, I still have something to give to my family.
Yeah.
And to be able to reflect, because I felt like I was always like going. And I'm not much of an overthinker because I didn't have time to overthink because I was just going. I just had to like make decisions and just cross my fingers and hope those were the right decisions. But now that things have slowed down a little bit, I'm starting to overthink like every decision that I make. And so I'm like, I got to do something else. So I'm looking for my next opportunity, but I don't know what that is yet. So
okay,
add another Airbnb in the backyard.
Build another shed.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
Or do you have any investment properties, or do you like?
I don't have any currently. That is definitely on the on our plan. So.
Because did you try and buy your parents' house when they wanted to sell it?
No, because that was so long ago. Like my brain wasn't even. I mean, that was 11 years ago.
Didn't even think about it.
Didn't even think about it. It didn't even cross my mind at the time. So, but yeah, I just remember them selling. So they sold their house. I know it's 2009. It's 11 years ago for like $199. So, and that's just crazy to me. So
yeah, it is crazy. And I was thinking about it recently. My mom, my grandmother, they have both a house in Roundabout West on Bluff and then on Abbey.
Okay,
right down the road. Yep. And my dad has one. Right where they're doing all that new 620 construction.
Yes.
Behind Shortstop.
Yes.
Between Shortstop and Sprouts.
Yes.
And if they ever want to sell, they should call the realtor in the family. But I'd like to buy all those. I'd like to keep those properties if they ever do want to sell.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been working on our neighbor across the street. So. But yeah, no, I think it's a great neighborhood. I mean, to me, it's an easy sell in the sense that like it has all the schools. Like that was the biggest thing. I remember coming home from lunch when I was in high school, and I was driving through the school zone, and I got pulled over, and the cop was like, well, why are you driving so fast? This is a school zone. I'm like, it's the middle of the day. Mm-hmm. Like, I think of school zones like in the morning and after school, but not like in the middle of the day. And he's like, oh, well, that's a good point. Like, so he didn't give me a ticket.
He pulled you over for a school?
Well, I ran a couple stops. I cruised through a couple stop signs too.
There's more to the story.
But anyway, and then shortly thereafter, they stopped doing the school zone during the day. And it was just weird. But yeah, and then just being able to walk to everything it's a great.
They don't have a lot going on. These
do y'all know
officers.
What the oldest neighborhood in Round Rock is? Because I've always pictured Round Rock West kind of like Old West Austin or Hyde Park.
Mm-hmm.
Acres is one of them.
Yeah, I would say it's something on the east side for sure.
Remember that Carolyn property over there?
Yeah,
that's one of them.
There's also, I feel like another really old neighborhood is the Meadows off of Sam Bass. Mm-hmm. And I only say that because I'm thinking of like all my friends that like live where they lived like when we were young. But yeah, so
I don't know. Go on and on about Round Rock. I love it.
Yeah.
I could too.
And I guess I didn't know that you were a native. Well, I just met you. I didn't know you were a native. But
yeah, we grew
yeah.
up. And I'm doing this leadership Round Rock deal.
Oh yeah,
it's so cool to just learn.
I've applied for that for next year.
Did you?
So yeah.
I can introduce you to. Do you know Ryan McGahee?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ryan runs it.
Yeah. Yep.
But it's really cool. We're going to the. I'm going to the police department tomorrow.
He was at the fire department last week.
Yeah, I saw pictures. Yeah.
They let us they rappelled. I got on the top of the ladder, sprayed the hose, went through a burning building.
Have you been through Citizens Police Academy?
I'm going tomorrow.
Oh, okay, awesome.
For Leadership Round Rock, and then that's it. Graduation the next week.
Yeah, I did the Citizens Police Academy. I did Leadership Round Rock ISD back years ago to go through and like learn everything about the school district, which I think was really beneficial for being real estate, right? But yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah.
So
we tend to think that all the focus is on Austin, and being Round Rock natives, we see all the opportunity in Round Rock and up north.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's so expensive in Austin, and then their taxes, they just, passed the thing where they're, and now all the yes, thank you very much. Where now all the taxes are going to go up, and I mean, I have some friends that I grew up with that complain about the traffic in Round Rock and complain about like all the people that are here. And I'm thinking from a business perspective, I think, but that's a good thing, right?
Right.
I mean, Round Rock has a really robust economy. And have you guys been to the new Kalahari yet?
No, I went
before it was finished.
Yeah.
Can you just walk in there?
You can.
Just walk in?
Yeah, you can just walk in.
Around.
There's like restaurants. I want
to go do that. I was thinking about doing that for one of our videos.
Dude, it's unreal.
Going and touring.
Yeah,
Kalahari.
we stayed there the first 2 nights it was open. And unfortunately, I wasn't feeling fantastic, so I didn't get to do as many of the things that I wanted to do. But
how much is it to stay there a night?
I don't know. They run all kinds of deals. Like I got a special deal because my client is a manager there. So, but they ran a Black Friday deal. They did and they extended it. So you can get deals. I feel like we stayed there for 2 nights and it was like $500 and something, but it also comes with 4 water park passes. So, I mean that, and then they've got the little Dave & Buster's and we got our kid a pass for that.
It's interesting that it did open right now when it's cold outside. Do a lot of I guess there really isn't an opportunity to go to a water park here before Kalahari in the winter.
Right. Well, because it's indoor. It's indoor.
Well, yeah, of course it's heated.
Right.
But before Kalahari, I guess there wasn't an opportunity to go do that anywhere.
No, just all we have is the Rockin' River that's over in Old Settlers Park. And then the other thing, a part of the appeal too, I think, is opening in November is for the holidays, and it's like a staycation kind of idea, right? That's what we looked at it as obviously with COVID, vacationing has, changed. So we looked at it as this is a chance for us to get away for a couple of days. And
we need to go to the steakhouse.
So I went to the steakhouse.
You went to the steakhouse.
I did. We didn't have a great experience there, but hey, I'm the only one so far.
Talk to me. What's the deal?
So we had a late reservation. It was the very first night they were open, and our reservation was at 8:30 because we were having it with friends and they couldn't get there until that time. And I think they forgot to put our order in, and they all of our steaks were wrong, like temperature-wise. And so it wasn't like a great experience.
We don't have to go to the steakhouse.
Well, hold on. It was the first night they're open. And
yeah, I hear you.
And I've heard other people have good experiences there. So I could have just been that anomaly that I just, we just didn't have great.
Was it expensive?
It is expensive, yeah.
Can't be slipping when it's expensive.
I know.
I'm sure it's expensive.
And I'm that type of person that if I go to a restaurant and don't have a good experience, I never go back again, because there's so many places that you can go and have good experiences. But I told my husband, I said, I'm going to cut them a little bit of slack because they literally just opened, and we'll go back again. We're going to give it some time.
Is it like a true steakhouse? Like, because we don't really have a steakhouse here. I mean, we got good Salt Traders and Jack Allen and stuff, but not a steakhouse.
It is. It's a steakhouse and bourbon bar.
Do you like steakhouses?
Sounds cool.
Huh?
Do you like steakhouses?
I do. I'm not like a huge steak person. I prefer seafood. But
me too.
Yeah.
You ever been to a place it's on Hester's Crossing, the Brazilian steakhouse there?
I haven't.
I haven't been there either.
Both of y'all need to go check it out.
Okay. All
Churrasco.
Right. Okay.
That's not what it's called. That's the...
I know. It starts with like an F or something.
Yeah, it's Fogo or Fugera.
Something, yeah. I can't pronounce it, so I wasn't going to try. But yeah, a couple of times we thought about going there. I think it's like $35 a person. So I'm just like...
Maybe that's where it starts.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, I'm like, I have to make sure I'm like really hungry before I go, because I'm not, that kind of person that would normally go to a buffet because I eat like 3 things and it's not worth the money,
Yeah.
So, but
that place is nice. I guess there aren't really too many.
Straight steakhouse. No.
Does Nolan Ryan have a steakhouse somewhere around here?
no. He just has he has a butcher shop.
He just opened that, didn't he? Mm-hmm. Where is that
Good
at?
Stock. It's over by Del Diamond.
I gotta go there.
Right next to it.
Hat Creek. Yeah. There's PJ's Coffee over there, too. Have you been to PJ's Coffee? They're out of New Orleans.
No. Is it the New Orleans style?
Well, they have a little bit of everything, but sure, they have the New Orleans style.
What is the New Orleans style where you put condensed milk in like espresso?
I don't know. I've never heard of it.
They use like chicory, too.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
The
Have you ever been to Cafe Du Monde?
Yeah.
That's my maiden name, by the way.
Is it?
Yeah. But
Nice.
yeah. So anyway, but no, when we were in Las Vegas, when we were in New Orleans last, there was like Starbucks and PJ's right by our hotel, and it was like the Starbucks line was like out the door, and then the PJ's line was still long, but not as long. And so I'm like, I'm gonna go check this out because I know what Starbucks tastes like. Mm-hmm. So I like it. So
no, that's
hungry.
Cool though. Yeah, I am too. So Kalahari's across from Roanoke Express. Nolan Ryan just built that. Mm-hmm. PJ's. Is there any other new development going on?
Cork and Barrel.
Cork and Barrel. What is that?
So, and you can actually get a membership there. It's like an Irish pub, but high-end Irish pub. Oh, and then there's also Kenny Fort Pub. Have you been there? Mm-mm. You like fish and chips? Mm-hmm. You need to go there. But if you're going to go, like maybe after this, if you're going to go, you should share the fish and chips, because I'm not kidding you. Like the fish is like this big.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I gotta go try that out.
Yeah.
So
they have a lot of local beers too.
I say I like fish and chips, but who knows if I've actually had real fish and chips.
Yeah. Well, and the owner's British, so I mean it's like the real deal. So we went on a Sunday. It was good.
And where's that at?
So it is Kalahari across 79. There's a development there. Magnolia Realty's in there. So they're right in that like shopping center. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah,
and then they're also building right across from there. They're building Mas Fajitas. So Mas Fajitas is currently on 79 in the HEB Plus shopping center. And they're moving to a freestanding building that I think they've owned that property for a long time, and they're finally like getting around to building it.
Is that place good? Mas Fajitas?
So I've only eaten their catering. I don't think I've ever sat down and eaten their food, so I can't tell you if it's good, but they have pretty good frozen margaritas.
Yeah. Are y'all fajita fanatics?
Yeah, I love fajitas.
So I love fajitas. Anytime I go to a Mexican restaurant, that's what I order. And therefore I don't go to a lot of Mexican restaurants, for dinner like that, because a lot of times the fajitas are not good, or at least the way I like them. But La Margarita, I think, is the best That and Papacitos. They have the best beef fajitas.
They had the shrimp Diablos at La Margarita. Man, those are good.
Have you had the filet mignon fajitas at Lupe Tortilla?
Lupe is good too.
I love Lupe.
Lupe is good too, and they, you got all that butter that they put in there too.
Look at this. This is Round Rock does have a pretty good restaurant scene. See, everyone in Austin thinks it's all in Austin. There's a bunch of good ones in Round Rock.
We keep naming them off.
I wish Round Rock had better Asian food.
Our favorite, kind of my favorite, Nancy's Sky Garden.
Okay,
you like Nancy's?
I do.
So Nancy's is good, but I mean, I'm talking about like soup dumplings, noodles.
So back when I was a kid, we used to we got takeout at China Wall all the time. So that's over in Hester's Crossing. I don't know. I'm not saying it's
that
great.
Place
I'm
is
just
good.
saying that's what I grew up on.
That place is good. I grew up on How How.
Okay.
I was just thinking of How How.
That's it. And so all I know in Round Rock.
They're gone, right?
No, they're there.
Really?
I still eat How How.
Oh, what about hoodies subs?
Yes, that's probably the best.
Yeah.
Like, Round Rock Donuts too. But if you had to pick like one thing that's like above other areas, like hoodies.
Well, you can choose categories. Best in categories.
Yeah.
Okay, so they just opened a new taco joint across from Round Rock High School where the old Subway was. It's called Luna's Tacos.
Really?
And it's actually really good. They have like 30 different tacos. And they're kind of smaller. They're almost like street tacos. So you can get like, you can try a bunch instead of like getting like a big.
When Tio Dan's burnt down, I died.
Have you guys been to Veracruz?
Yeah, Veracruz is good.
Veracruz is good.
Yeah.
Veracruz is good. I miss Tio Dan's.
Yeah.
So much.
Well, and then when they moved to that new location, it wasn't the same.
I've never even been to the new location.
Yeah. I went one time, and that's all it took.
I drive by downtown Round Rock and a teardrop falls from
My favorite, and it's a chain.
What about Recuerdos? Have you been to Recuerdos on downtown Round Rock? Little Mexican joint. It's like it's wedged between Longhorn, or not Long. Is it Longhorn? No, Long Branch.
No, I haven't.
Long Branch.
Oh, I have been there. And that's actually really good. I went there one time.
Yeah,
that's really good.
Yeah. And then did you see? I don't know. We're just talking about Round Rock.
Let's keep it going.
Hey, did you see they're building on to the tavern? So now they're building like a second. Yeah, I don't even know what's going on.
That looks interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting.
Oh, yes.
It looks small.
When you're looking at it to the right of it.
Yeah. I don't know. I just thought that was really interesting. But
we own a duplex down there in downtown Round Rock.
Oh.
And it's zoned MU2.
Okay.
And in the future, I would love to develop it into something commercial.
Yeah.
Ruby Hotel.
Oh, yeah.
Have you been there?
Oh, that's my favorite place to just
Ruby
go hang out and have a drink.
Ruby is really cool.
Yeah.
I've only gone once.
Yeah.
And I ended up spending a lot of money there.
Well, yeah. We end up going and it's like, well, let's just go have a drink and then.
Where is the Ruby Hotel?
It's right on the river. You know where Georgia School is?
Yeah.
It's right back behind there.
It's right next to the Grove. The Grove is like an event center. So if you're on Mays and you turn on Fannin, there's like a law firm right there, and you turn there and you take a left. It's like right there. It's a boutique hotel, right? It's mid-century modern, very small. They only have a few. They don't have a bunch of rooms.
How big is it? You think?
Like 30 rooms, maybe.
Oh, that's pretty big. So when y'all say Ruby Hotel, I'm thinking of the mansion in downtown Round Rock.
No, that's the Woodbine Mansion. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What is that place?
It's supposedly an event center.
So wedding now it's. Well, I mean that too, but they do weddings before the pandemic. I mean, it was packed every weekend.
Wow.
Of weddings, and they're really nice.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that. It sucks because I'm sure they put a ton of money into that, and then literally they started. I mean, I think they had like 3 weddings before the pandemic, and then
yeah.
So they bought that from.
I don't know if it was the same owners or what.
Yeah, I know it sold not too long ago. So
it was like $2 million or something like that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was a lot.
Probably a good deal for the long run.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Round Rock's got it going on.
I know. Well, I just remember like when I was a kid, there was like the goalpost, if that was even there, and then there was a little bar across the street.
Was it Juniors?
No. Like you know where the YMCA is now on the part that faces Mays. There was like It was Mom's Cafe after it was like a bar. But those were like the only bars because there was this big stigma, I guess, of us having like bars. But, you know, what would happen is everyone would go to Austin.
Right.
And, you know, someone finally got smart and said, why don't we put some bars in downtown Round Rock so that we can keep people here and that we can keep the money here,
What
too.
about Louisiana Longhorn? There's your seafood.
Oh, I'm
don't
not
like
like a
Louisiana?
super fan. No,
It's okay.
Really?
I go Salt Traders is probably my favorite for
Yeah.
like seafood.
Gumbos used to be right there by your dad's property.
Oh yeah,
Gumbos.
Yeah.
That was good.
Deckhands.
Oh,
yeah.
you been to Deckhands?
Yeah, Deckhands is good.
Heck
I heard
yeah.
they're building like a new one that's huge, like 8,000 square feet.
Yeah, they
Where?
are. I
down
don't
the
know.
street.
Yeah.
like not
Down
far,
the street?
Yeah,
Yep, they're building
That
a
is
big one.
awesome. They need it. They're
Yeah.
like ridiculously packed all the
they
time.
are, and it's hard to maneuver in there just the way that they're set up.
That was the old Fazoli's.
Yeah,
You remember that?
I do.
I was like, that is the worst restaurant location.
It
But
Yeah,
the
I guess
food's
if you
good
put the
enough.
right restaurant there,
Yeah.
you're good. But like for something like Fazoli's, there's no draw for Fazoli's, right? So they don't have. There's nothing. I mean, they're just like a fast food Italian chain
yeah,
versus.
breadsticks. All you can eat breadsticks.
Yeah.
We need a little, and they had it for a little bit, but like a food trailer. They had that one over by Del Diamond.
Yeah, and then they had one on Mays for a little while, where all that, like kind of across from where the law firm is, where you turn onto Fannin. For a minute, they had a food truck situation there. And then I think part of the reason why they moved that is they were going to build on to like CD Folks, and they were going to put the new library over that way and make it more of like a performing arts, and then that went a different direction. So
Just go buy a lot and turn it into a food trailer park.
yeah,
Like on Barton.
yeah,
Y'all know that
Yeah.
that food truck park right by the mobile home park
yeah,
or RV park.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then they have one in West Campus.
Mm-hmm.
Off like 26th or 7th and Rio Grande, somewhere
Right.
near
Well,
there.
and I know there's plenty of food trucks because I was seeing this trend during COVID of bringing a food truck into a neighborhood. You know, like, hey, the such and such, I can't think of one, the Evil Wiener. That's the first one I can think about.
Tommy want wingy.
Yeah. So, you know, it's like, hey, Evil Wiener is going to be in the neighborhood, you know, tonight from 6 to 9. And so, I mean, there's plenty of food trucks out there that just will travel to like, you know, we used to have them at our elementary school for like fall festivals and stuff. So, I mean, there's got to be food trucks that would be willing to post
The demand
up.
is there. That's what the key takeaway for me with the just like saying all this stuff about Round Rock is like there's so much demand for and it's got the infrastructure and the environment to be a good place, and people don't realize like what's going on. But the restaurant sales at Jack Allen's and Salt Traders and Cover 3 and all those, they perform as good as any restaurants in Austin.
Yeah.
I mean, they do like $9 million a year,
Yeah.
which is unheard of. I mean,
that's
Chili's
good
does
for a
like
restaurant?
a Chili's or Applebee's does like 2.3, maybe 3 million.
Yeah.
Doing 9 million.
That's pretty good, I guess.
Yeah, well,
Almost
I
$1 million a
wish
month.
something would move into Mellow Mushroom, like a really cool restaurant, because well, I live on that side of town, and so it's almost like neighborhood restaurants, Jack Allen's and all of that, and so it's like be awesome if a really cool restaurant just kind of rounded that out, because Pine House Pizza is there too.
Yeah.
Is that what shut down? It was Mellow,
Mellow
Mushroom.
yeah,
Yeah.
You can see it from Rudy's parking lot.
yeah.
We were getting Rudy's one day, and I was wondering what was there.
Yeah, it
That
was like a
shut down.
pizza place, and I don't really know why they didn't make it, but
Well, Mellow Mushroom, they have one in Austin. That's like the Mellow Mushroom.
Yeah,
thing.
that's a
Yeah.
total hippie joint.
yeah. Well, I went again. I made the mistake of going like right when they opened and didn't have a great experience, and you know, figured that there's other places for me to get pizza in town, so I didn't need to go back.
Speaking of which, we haven't touched on pizza.
Yeah.
What are y'all's favorite Round Rock pizza places?
So I'm a big fan of Pizza Delight. They're in the
Yeah.
Shopping
He's in
center.
that guy. The owner's in my
he
leadership
is,
Round Rock
yeah,
class.
Eddie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of pizza is it?
Well, it's like he's from New Jersey, so it's like East
Thin
Coast
crust.
pizza.
We're going to take Rick out there.
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
of our agents from New Jersey.
They have really good wings too. So
they do have good wings. I've had the wings.
And he doesn't have any crap on tap. So he only has like craft beer. So you can't get Miller Lite there or Coors Light or anything like that.
Gotcha.
So I like that.
What was that one called?
Pizza Delight.
Pizza Delight. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I have a favorite. We usually do homemade pizza when we do pizza.
All right.
Yeah.
But another restaurant, one more for me, Greenhouse.
Oh, yeah.
You been there? That's good, right?
Yeah, it is really
good.
What type of food is that?
It's like farm to table.
Yeah. It's over off Old Settlers, right? Or like University.
Yeah, it's Old Settlers. Yeah, it's down the street from my office. So
just healthy food,
dude. It's really, really good.
Yeah, I mean they got all kinds of. They have a special every day, and then they've got burgers, they've got salads, they've got great sandwiches,
meatloaves.
Yeah,
you'll love it.
I think I know what I'm doing after I leave here. I gotta get some food.
Yeah.
Let's get back to real estate.
Okay.
What? Oh shoot, we're running long.
Sorry.
What? No, this is fun. I mean, it's what it's all about. Like goals moving forward. Your whole family's in real estate.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What are the goals? Like just keep building, keep growing, keep living the lifestyle.
Yeah. So, I mean, we put a 5-year plan together. You obviously you have to have goals. You don't always hit them, but you have to have them or you'll never hit them, right? So my husband and I put a 5-year plan into place that in 5 years from now, basically, that my daughter will be running the team.
That's
so
cool. Whatever
that looks like, because she's super driven. She chose to go into real estate and not go to college. But she has a 5-year plan of her own. She writes her goals. She makes her list. Like I said, she asked me when she was making her 5-year plan before she even had her license, she said, "Mom, do you think in 5 years I'll have people working for me?" And I said, "Absolutely." So the plan is to kind of, in 5 years, step away from the day-to-day. Yeah, I mean, still will be involved, right? Like, I don't think I can, I mean, I love real estate. I don't think I can, 100% walk away. But for her to be, running that, and I told her whether you're the director of operations or whether you're, whatever that looks like, but it's your show. And so, so that's kind of the plan.
That's
and
cool.
then our plan is, I mean, my husband wants to, buy a sailboat and charter and sail around the Caribbean. So, hopefully I'll be spending more time at the beach. So that's my happy place. And that's why Chicago could not be a full-time place for me, because if I had my way, I'd be working on the beach every day.
If you're going to be near water, it's not the Great Lakes.
That's right. No, it has to be warm water.
Yeah.
So that kind of narrows it down to, we love Hawaii. We have a condo in Hawaii. And I've only been to Cancun, so I haven't, unfortunately, I've been to the Bahamas. I haven't spent a lot of time in the Caribbean, but, anyway, the islands are so close together, and that's why he thinks getting a boat and sailing around. And so,
Do you rent the condo out when you're not there?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
It does well?
Yeah.
Airbnb or?
Kind of, sort of. Yeah.
Local type?
Yeah.
Her husband is Robert, who we made an offer on a mobile home park he had in Jarrell.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
We just reached back out to him again recently.
Okay, good.
So your your husband's in real estate as well now too?
He's commercial.
Okay.
Yeah, he does commercial.
Gotcha, okay.
He had a deal that we loved, and I guess the sellers backed out.
Yeah, it was unfortunate.
We were ready on that one. We wanted that bad.
Yeah.
Yes, we did. And we usually don't operate that way.
1.6 million?
No, it was like 455,000. 20-something acres.
We were like, yep, we want it.
Yeah. No. Yeah. So he does all commercial and I'm residential. My daughter will fall in line with residential. And at some point we'll want to get someone else, on our team that does commercial so that he can kind of step away. But, we're still 5 years out from that. So
we're excited for you. I want to make fun of you for your phone.
Yeah.
But I carry all my stuff like this.
So it's the same thing.
It is. I've just never seen one so thick.
Except yours is organized.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll just leave the whole thing. This is but that's.
I'm curious.
I've never seen that.
I'm curious about yours. Let me see real quick.
I do this until the thing just busts and then I just slap a new one on.
So are these business cards that you pick up daily?
No, there's specific people I need to reach out to. and then the rest are mine.
So
and
you have your thing of business cards at home, and you're like, I need to reach out to this guy today. I'm taking his business card with me.
These are people that I've met that have given me their cards that I haven't connected with, like the way I want
It's
to.
his to-do list.
Yes, this is my to-do list.
Is that how yours is too?
No, mine is like my cards, my husband's cards, my credit cards.
Can we show the camera? It's just so,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
This is insane. You guys see this? I want to make fun of you, but mine's loose in my pocket.
I know,
So
yeah.
I can't say much.
So, every once in a while I'll be like, because same thing happens to me. If someone gives me their business card, I just slide it in there. And then I have to like mentally go like once a week and pull everything out and go, is there
Get
anything
rid of
that,
them. Yeah.
is there anything that really doesn't need to be in here that I can slim this thing down? But
There's got to be some stuff.
Y'all are networking soldiers. I hate business cards. If someone hands me a business card, I'm like, just send me a text message. I got your number.
yeah.
And
I take the business card and I put it in the database and put all that information in there, and then I set them up on a quarterly call plan so that
Again, networking soldiers, warriors.
Well, Michelle, I know we all got stuff to do.
Yeah.
We appreciate you coming
Yeah,
on.
thanks.
Thank you very much.
What are ways that people can get a hold of you if they want to buy a house in Round Rock, Austin, Texas? Or get some advice on good restaurants?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I have a phone number. I'm still working on the new website, so we're doing that. But we're Sherwood Realty Group.
SherwoodRealtyGroup.com? Or
Maybe. Just find me
They're
on
working on
Facebook.
it.
yeah, or reach out to us. We'll connect you with Michelle.
Yeah. I'm working on it. It's transition. Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Awesome.